potatoes. I'm taking chips today.
On chips?
Yeah, shocking.
Yeah?
Yes.
We lost the packet the other day. We broke it off.
Yes. Oh, okay.
It came out of the box and it was open. It was split.
Rightio. Well, I feel like Foo here. I'm the little guy hiding behind the wall.
Yeah.
But thank you all for turning up today. Today we are going to be looking at regionality of Shiraz. Now, to do this, I have actually got a tasting pack from a winemaker friend of ours called Brad Ray. He puts this together for sale, so you can actually buy this thing. And in fact, he's putting out another one, I believe, shortly as well. I'm not 100% certain what the next one is, but this one I thought was pretty good. It's got 4 different Shiraz that he makes out of 4 different regions. So it's a really cool setup. So here's the box, as you can see. And the bottles are all hidden, so they're all blind bottles, so that we don't know what they are. You also get a sheet in there as well, which will give you tasting notes for each of the wines, and then you kind of have to guess which wine or which number is which, and from there you should be able to infer what each of the different regions are. So today we've got obviously Pat, the novice wine drinker, who is becoming less of a novice day by day. Dan, who I've worked with for over 10 years now, it's 11 years now, for 11 years now, and yeah, he's the knowledgeable one, and my name's Andrew, and I'm kind of the know-it-all. And also we have today cheese, supplied by Cheese Therapy.
I like therapy.
I like therapy too, but we're going to try the cheeses. We've got a hard goat's cheese and some sort of soft French brie, I think it is. So yes, so Pat, give us your. So we will just break it down. Shiraz classically comes out of South Australia predominantly, but is grown all over Australia. But in South Australia, the main regions that we have Shiraz production is obviously Barossa. And Barossa can be broken into different regions, but we're going to put Barossa as just a whole for the moment. McLaren Vale, which again can be broken into about 3 or 4 sub-regions, but we're going to leave it as a whole. Adelaide Hills, and down to the line, so it goes Langhorne Creek. So, tell me what you expect to get out of Shiraz from each of these regions. Say Barossa. What are you looking to get from Barossa?
Barossa, you should get like pepper, red fruits, medium tannins, like never seems to be too like grippy or big tannin.
Yep.
Yeah, that's probably about it. Like,
For mine I normally get is bright red fruits, maybe some black fruits that's coming from Eden Valley. Soft, rounded tannins in the back. The acidity is not going to be particularly high because it's quite a warm region. But generally you will pick up some raspberries, a couple of black plums, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So that's for Barossa. Next up, let's have a look at McLaren Vale. So McLaren Vale Shiraz, what are we expecting to get from McLaren Vale?
Not too sure, honestly. I haven't had too many McLaren Vale Shirazes.
Well, we find generally it's a lot of blue fruits.
Okay.
Blue fruits is the big thing I usually get. I also get a velvety like tannin. Oh, actually, sorry, my big differentiation between Barossa and McLaren Vale is mocha. So coffee chocolate in Barossa and bitter chocolate in McLaren Vale.
See, I normally get the mocha one from like Clare Valley and Eden Valley. Like
I find milk chocolate from that one more
Yeah.
than mocha. So
Okay.
yeah, but that's just me. Again, that could be just my palate finding those things that I'm looking for. But yeah, McLaren Vale blue fruits are usually a heavier, slightly jammier sort of flavours if it's a bit over extracted. But otherwise, I find blue fruits, bitter chocolate are the two big
I get
indicators.
the jamminess usually. It's quite rich.
Yeah.
Richer than Barossa.
yeah.
So now we're going to have a guess at, let's say, Adelaide Hills. Now we've had a few Adelaide Hills over the years. So what do you think of Adelaide Hills? What do you think it's going to be? Actually, firstly, the easiest thing to do is think about the region.
Yeah, so you get more ocean, breezes blowing in through there.
No, you'll actually have well, it's depending on which side of the Adelaide Hills, but for the most part, yeah, you do get some ocean breezes coming through, but you find it's a bit less Mediterranean climate, a bit more continental climate, I guess. We're talking splitting hairs in this one though. I do find that the elevation is the big thing for me.
But what's the soil type up there? It's going to be a lot rockier or?
Yeah, fairly rocky. Quite a lot of.
Loamy,
Yeah.
Is it granite underneath or?
Subsoils are generally going to be igneous like granites or quartzes and things like that. I do find that they do have a fair bit of good soil at the top there, particularly with some of the clays that they've got. I know Barossa has a lot of that black and red clay. McLaren Vale has a lot of that loamy character because it's got a lot. It's actually got a whole bunch of. McLaren Vale is like a region that's been so crushed together. It's got so many different little regionality things inside it. Adelaide Hills is obviously a lot more mountainous, obviously, and it's the elevation that I find. So therefore, I find something that's going to be a bit lighter, a bit prettier, a bit more aromatic. So the fruits again are going to generally be that sort of red-blue fruits. Maybe a slight darker fruit in there as well. But I also find generally, this is a very general statement, it's a lighter style of Shiraz. It's not a bigger, richer style. We talked about McLaren Vale.
I've always thought Adelaide Hills be kind of like more Pinot drinker Shiraz.
Yeah, that's probably not a bad call, actually. It's not a terrible call at all. I would probably say that it'd be a lot heavier than a Pinot drinker Shiraz, but it's probably, you probably go down that road. The last place is Langhorne Creek, which has got a lot of limestone to it.
Is yours working? Mine's just caught on a loop of Andrew sitting down.
I like that. I'm an important person.
No, mine's working.
Yep.
Chatty's 10 minutes off now.
Okay.
Chatty's 10 minutes off, is he?
Yeah.
That's shame. I told him 3:15.
Yeah.
Well, it's 3:15 now.
Yes. So I did find that Langhorne Creek is going to be obviously a lot more coastal. So a lot more of those maritime breezes coming through. And it also has a lot more limestone in it.
Yeah.
So it gets a finer style. So the tannins are going to be a bit finer and rounder than you are going to see in the other ones. That being said though, with these sheets that Brad has sent us as part of this thing, so we're going to go back through quickly. So Barossa, he's saying mulberries, boysenberry, blackberry pie, Christmas spice, black cocoa, black plums, macerated raspberry and cracked pepper. Where McLaren Vale, he's got warm blackberry pie with hints of blueberries and milk chocolate, tangy cedar, cigar box, boysenberries and plums. Adelaide Hills, plums, cherries, rhubarb. Now rhubarb is generally a lighter red sort of flavour. Hints of pepper, spice, cocoa, raspberries, Dutch licorice and fresh sage. So he's looking for herbal quality in there. And finally, the Lake Doctor, which is down towards Langhorne Creek. Fresh cracked pepper, plum pudding, blackberry compote, hints of rose oil and violets, cedar, blackberries, caramelised orange peel and lifted cigar box. So we've got tasting notes for each of the wines. Now we just have to guess which wine goes with which number, which A, B, C, D, or 1, 2, 3, 4. And yeah, from there, we'll wander through and see what's going on. So the Chadster's late.
Yeah, he's
kind
of late.
So he's neither the novice knowledgeable or the know-it-all. He's actually the fitness one.
The late.
The late one, but late and fit. Obviously, he's running here, is he?
Swimming probably.
Oh yes, actually, it's a bit wet out there today.
Yeah.
So yes. So did you want to start, or do you want to wait for Chatty?
We may as well start, like.
Might as well start. He can catch up. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're going to look first at this lovely barley wine that we're. We'll just finish our beer quickly.
Just got the new kings in.
Mm-hmm. Yum. Now we actually, I will say, we held a Barossa. We did a wine tasting on Monday night with face-to-face tasting, and it was Barossa wine show wines, and we had the overall winner, which was the Fat Cat, which is the Cat Amongst Pigeons Fat Cat Shiraz. We looked at that against Soul Growers Slow Grown Shiraz, Elderton's Estate Range Shiraz, Paisley Silk Road Shiraz, and Laughing Jack Jack Shiraz. And out of the entire table, the winner, which actually didn't even score a medal at the Barossa Wine Show, was the Laughing Jack Shiraz. which was outstanding.
Yeah,
It
there's
was
still bloke
truly
online that
outstanding.
didn't even get a bronze.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, but as I said, it's what's on the day.
Yeah.
So, you know, we
To
did
see what you mean about those glasses.
those glasses. They're terrible, aren't
Do
they?
not let any
Yeah.
secrets out.
So if you saw last week's online for us, you'd notice those ISO glasses that we used. They are bloody awful for any evaluation of wine, but they are really, really good just to level the playing field for wine. And it's true. Like, literally it was true. When we were tasting it, we were going, oh, that, you know, Elderton didn't show particularly well because it wasn't in that big glass, which...
You don't already get the...
Yeah.
When you can get the nose, straight away your mouth starts watering, and if you like the nose, it's like, oh, this is going to be
This is
good.
going to go really, really well. And for we had one wine which we were a bit concerned about, but we are going to have a look at the replacement bottle that they're sending us, and we're going to review it, and we'll review it online so everyone can see it. So we're not trying to...
Have you heard back from the rep yet?
Yes, yeah, no, he's sending it. He was very surprised about that. Could have been heat affected, and he reckons the closure probably was an issue, so therefore we're going to review that wine when it comes in.
That's the one I thought was the best.
And yeah, I've had it before, and I loved it.
When I saw the bottle on the table, I can't wait to try
Yeah. Well, anything
and
but...
I went, uh-oh.
Anything but them, yeah.
It's been great. Okay, so let's have a look at wine one. You know, we're going to be doing a fair bit of sipping. Actually, you want to come around here, Pat. Get snuggle a little bit closer, mate. So... lovely nose. Okay, so on the nose, what are we getting, guys?
I'm getting a little bit of what could be the tobacco. Tobacco box, was it? Cigar box.
Cigar box.
I'm getting a bit of plum.
Yeah, I'm actually getting some of that sort of herbal quality, but you know, I'm unsure. Yeah, I am getting herbal quality on that one. Sort of that green herbal sort of style. So maybe it's the fresh sage that he's talking about. It's definitely not cedar. It's definitely not milk chocolate or blackberries. Maybe plums. Don't know. We'll have a look here. So on the palate, it's not big and rich and round. So that immediately for me pushes it out of McLaren Vale and it pushes out of Barossa. So that sort of leaves Adelaide Hills or the Lake Doctor or the Langhorne Creek only due to the herbal quality and hints of licorice. It could be, I reckon, Adelaide, the hills are alive, Adelaide Hills. But I could be wrong. It could be sort of rose oil and violets. Yeah, I mean, I'm getting some.
Which one's which?
So number one.
That's
Oh yeah, so
Adelaide Hills.
Hills are alive, Adelaide Hills, yeah.
Is this one?
Baron von Nemesis, that's the Barossa.
Chocolate Factory's McLaren Vale.
Yes. And Lake Doctor is Langhorne Creek. So yeah, I am getting, you know, if you're going to look at it, yes, that lighter style red fruit, which is like rhubarb. Yeah, maybe some plums and cherries are in there. It's definitely got red fruit to it, but it's also got that lighter, slightly astringent red fruit, pepper. Yeah, look, I'm going to go with. I don't know about Dutch licorice. I've never drunk. I've never had it. But sage, yeah, I'm getting that herbal quality. So that's me. I'm going to go with the Adelaide Hills. That'll be number one. But I could be wrong. I might reevaluate that as we go through.
I'm going to go Langhorne.
Oh, the fitness one is here. Come forth and sit.
Soz.
Yes, Sozzers. I even told you the time.
Yeah, I know. I sent you a text. Obviously, that.
Obviously, no, that's what it stopped for. Then.
He's only got white belts, so he's got to watch.
Oh, okay, yes. Actually, you've obviously run here in that case.
Yeah, and it's raining out too.
So Swam here. Yeah.
Yeah, Swam.
All right. Actually, just a quick review for Chatty. So we're looking at 4 wines. We don't know what they are. We all know they're all Shiraz. They're from different regions in Australia. So we've got.
You've got to guess the region.
You've got to guess the region. Well, in front of you here, this is the tasting notes of the 4 different wines. It doesn't tell us which wine is which, so we don't know. But this one here is Adelaide Hills, that one here is Barossa, that one's McLaren Vale, and that one's Langhorne Creek.
Nice.
So we're just going through what each of the wines sort of give and what we expect to find.
Right.
So basically the simplest thing breakdown is Barossa, ripe red fruits, bright, bit of spice, but going to have mocha, so coffee and chocolate in the back. McLaren Vale, slightly jammier sometimes, but it's generally blue fruits and a bit of chocolate. Adelaide Hills, because it's a higher area elevation and a cooler climate, you're going to be picking up lighter style red fruits because of the aromatics and the cooler areas. And you probably get a bit more spice running into it. And finally, Langhorne Creek, because of a lot of limestone in that area, you're going to get a little bit more fine tannins. That means the tannins are quite fine. They might be rich and rounded or ripe and red or drying. So you will be looking for a lighter style of Shiraz, but should have some really good fruit to it as well. So
it's like wine bingo.
yeah, basically.
Nice, yes, I like it.
Extra point for when
Yeah.
you hear someone say, I love it.
Yeah.
If you're playing along at home, write down "I love it"
Yeah.
on the scorecard.
And to be fair is next.
To be
To be
fair,
fair,
yeah,
nice,
yeah.
good.
So
We going ABCD?
yeah, we'll do ABCD.
Righto.
So we're just on A now. So
Jeez, there's a whole wheel of cheese in front of us as well.
Oh,
That's
yes.
impressive, isn't
and
it?
yeah, that was given to us to try, and we will.
We will.
Yeah.
I'm not even angry. I mean, I'm impressed. You
Yes.
ate the whole wheel.
No, I wouldn't go that far. I don't think we can go anywhere near that amount, not without me being grumpy for the next week. So,
I'll break out in the cheese sweats.
yeah. Right, yeah. So, Chatty, what are you grabbing from this one?
I grabbed an A.
You grabbed an A.
It's a good start. I know my alphabet.
So, what did the tasting notes for each of the wines?
Yeah.
But he hasn't told us which wine is the 1, 2, 3, 4, so I don't know which one's which. I said that I was getting some lighter red fruits to it with some spice. I also got a herbal quality in there as well, which leads me towards that fresh sage. So that leads me towards Adelaide Hills, but that we can reevaluate this as we go through. If we find something that's
Which is
more obvious.
which region has the this one, the blackberries, the caramel?
That's Langhorne Creek.
That's Langhorne Creek. Yep.
I think I'm getting pepper
Okay. Yep.
and sweaty.
Yes.
Sweaty.
I went with Langhorne Creek.
Warm
as
room,
well.
this one. Where the aircon gets in here.
Yeah, it's a very good chance it can be.
Mm.
But we ruled out McLaren Vale and Barossa because it's not the fruit's not ripe and red enough. We could be completely shocked by the end of the sale.
Maybe. I'm sitting right here in Langhorne for
Yeah.
the moment.
I'm going that
Yeah.
one.
Okay, and for B,
I'm getting the black cocoa.
cacao.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this
Reminds
is
me of a
Barossa.
crow joke.
Yours, what, sorry?
Reminds me of a crow joke.
Oh yeah, don't start. Your crow joke has moved so far around this place.
He doesn't look unimpressed with that.
No, you should be very happy with it.
Yeah, I reckon this is a Barossa.
It's got those richer, riper notes. It's
Yeah.
got Christmas spice to it, which I agree. Raspberry, cracked pepper, black plums. Yeah, I would not be surprised to see this would be a Barossa. So, Chatty, what's your input on this? It's actually a cracker of a wine. I really do like it.
I think. I've forgotten the bits of the regiony bits, but I think it's either one.
Adelaide Hills.
Yeah, I think it's either one of the top two.
Are you getting any rhubarb in there?
No, which leaves me to believe it's the other one.
Yeah, so that's a Barossa one, you reckon?
I think this one is
Yep.
this one.
So, I think that's a fair call. I think that's pretty good. It's number 2 we're doing, dude. Or B. No, you're doing B.
I did, but
You did buh. Buh for 2.
A, B, C,
A k, d.
correct.
I don't know where k came from.
K. It's like
K.
cart.
Again. Do you know a crow joke, Dan?
It's a little, it's not a bad crow joke.
Do you want to go with it then?
No.
So sad. Let's build them up, crush it.
Mm.
I get like dark chocolate from that one.
Yeah, I'm
We're
actually.
on C.
It's not milk chocolate.
No.
So I was, because it's on the, for the smell, I was gonna go with McLaren, but just that dark chocolate.
This one's a bit sweeter than
Yeah, very bitter.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm looking at this one
the smell wise.
because I got cedar and I got some orange to it as well. So that's where I was sort of going with that one. But you've already said out.
Well, that's what I'm going with now.
Don't get me wrong. There's a good chance that
It seems a bit too like
maybe
the tannins a bit.
it might have that sagey character in Dutch licorice that we're talking about. But it's definitely lighter in the fruit. Like much lighter in the fruit. And then reading on the tasting note here, fresh cracked pepper, plum pudding, blackberry compote, rose oil and violets. Where are you going with this, Dan?
Moved on to D.
Oh, you gave up and went straight to D, did you?
No, I wanted to check D. To
Yeah,
make
check.
sure.
Oh!
Let's make, right.
hedgingisbets.com.
Yeah.
Yes. We'll
So
have a look at D.
I went C. I went with
What's
Adelaide Hills.
what's oh did you?
Yeah.
Is it the top left corner? Is it this
Yeah,
one?
top left
Yeah,
is Adelaide.
I reckon
Ooh.
because I think there's a
See, I reckon
To
D
try
is
D to
Adelaide
see if
Hills.
there's any juviness, but I'm not getting, and none of those to me have come out as big juvie.
Yeah.
No, but remember the chocolate block is a little bit of a lighter style of McLaren bar. So what I'm getting from this one finds a much riper note to it, and for me there's a lot of I don't know, boysenberry, black fruit. And that one, that could almost be, according to the taste notes, that could almost be a Barossa.
I think C is the top left.
I think C is the top left, yep.
Yep, and I think D is the bottom left.
Okay. Right, well, let's go back and review it and we'll double check all this, because I don't know. I'm actually torn because as the wines have gone through, I've seen some pretty big change. So essentially, I've separated them out. So B and C, 1 or 2 and 4 in this case. I literally have got McLaren Vale and Barossa in either of these glasses.
One and
Adelaide Hills and Langhorne Creek are definitely the other two for me.
yeah.
So I'm now just going to try and separate the Barossa and McLaren Vale for me. So
What did you have B and 2 and 4 for Barossa and McLaren?
yeah, so B. Yeah.
Which is exactly what I've got.
Yeah, so I'm going to try. I'm just reviewing it to see whether or not I think that, because this one, the number 4 tastes like it's a lot.
I got
Better
the thing
fruit.
that gave that one away for me was the blackberry pie.
Mhm.
For some reason, I copped that. To be fair, I don't eat
So
a lot
the
of pie,
blackberry
so
pie-
I might be throwing out.
Which one's the blackberry pie?
The
Langhorne.
Langhorne Creek.
or
Blackberry compote.
D.
It's not pie. D. Sorry, over here. Yeah, one blackberry pie. Gotcha.
pie.
Is a D. Yeah,
I'm sorry, could you pronounce that other word again?
compote.
Right, there you go. There's the words I don't use every day.
Compote.
Compote. I'll have a glass of Tecate, thanks.
Yes. Take that.
With a hint of rose oil and violets.
And what?
That's the latest.
That's number 3. Yeah. I don't know. Just hold on. I think this one has got more. If I was going to say quality-wise, and this is just quality-wise, that one for me is a better quality than that one. Which, when you know the prices for these wines, the difference is the Baron von Nemesis is $32, $34, and the chocolate box is $20 bucks. This is where I'm looking at this going, Chocolate Factory, that's a little bit too, what's the word for it? I think the chocolate box is going to be lighter in style than the Barossa, and I think that one just goes for the Barossa myself.
Where's the answers?
We will find those out in a moment.
Yeah.
Yes.
The big reveal, if you will. We'll take a commercial break first.
No.
I want to make sure that the answers are sealed, but Andrew hasn't already.
No, they're actually on the back of the bottle, so what you do is you tear the label off to have a look at it.
Okay.
So I haven't looked at it, I don't know, so, I'm making this up as well as everyone else.
Excellent.
So, I'm going to say...
It's an even playing field.
Yeah, it is. So I'm going to say...
Except
I think,
maybe for your 20-odd years experience.
I was
Ten,
about to
I
say
don't-
this,
I've
it's
only
not
had it-
even.
yeah, 16 years.
Yeah, 16.
It's not even.
Mm. Well, the thing is though that this is so if I was going to evaluate, I'll tell you now. If I got these 4 glasses put in front of me, and they said, "Tell us where these are from," I could tell you straight away that these are New World wines because fruit forward, fleshier palate. I then go, where makes really good Shiraz, and there's really not that many places. South Africa has a tendency to get a real ashy and smoky note to their wines. Chile, which can have some really lovely stuff, and from Argentina as well, some really lovely stuff. Again, both of those regions won't produce smart Shiraz using oak, because Australia is kind of renowned for good use of oak. We're the oak masters, essentially. America, all their stuff is a little bit over oaked, so therefore that's kind of America out the way. Our oak is used really cleverly and really well, so I would say it's Australia. And then when you look at Shiraz in Australia, the classic region of Shiraz is South Australia, particularly Barossa. The lighter styles still have too much fruit in them to be from Yarra or Barwang or Tassie, and they have too much character to them to be from West Australia. So again, I'd just South Australia, and I'd be going South Australia. That's how I'd narrow it down. Now, we're really, honestly, if we're being dead set honest, getting into regionality inside of South Australia, it's a lot harder.
It's getting nitty-gritty.
Yeah, we're into the nitty-gritty now.
Well, they're all pretty close. It's just different elevations and stuff around there.
Yeah, different elevations, slightly different cooling climates, and it can even be vintage as well.
Are these all the same vintage?
I don't know. Tell the truth.
Ooh.
Do not know.
Plot thickens.
Yes. Dun,
Yes.
dun, dun.
So I'm going to go.
Box go. It's chatting through the
No,
box.
it's underneath.
Oh, the box, yeah. It's a cool
This
looking
is
box.
what they come in.
This is what they come in, mate.
Oh, sweet.
You take it. It's a dinner party stuff.
Yeah, right.
It's like, who wants to host a murder? Who wants to get shit faced?
I'll go to the second one. Thank
Yeah.
you. That sounds way more fun.
What was the one that I
Pretty
watched?
sure that's the real English for that.
Yeah, the English production of Who Wants to Get Murdered. Actually, that's the wife beater time, yeah. So, I'll have Stella.
Everyone keys in a bowl. Away we go.
Yes.
Da-da-da-da-da-da.
That is really lovely.
See, I've changed my.
Oh, I don't think you're allowed to change.
Yeah, you are,
Oh,
absolutely.
you're allowed to change.
Well,
Yeah.
go through and you get the different
See, I've
flavours.
I've
These
changed.
guys also
I've
pick a
changed
football
A
team
to
halfway
Adelaide
through the
Bills.
season.
Yeah.
I'm starting to get a bit more of the licorice in there,
Yeah.
and a little bit more of the herbal
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, I'm sticking with that for Adelaide Hills for me.
I think the Barossa one I still got like B for
B for Barossa.
Beef for Barossa.
Yeah.
and then I've just got C and D. I was expecting the McLaren Vale one to really come through.
Jump out,
And
yeah.
that's at first I was dead set certain it'll C, but
Yeah.
I was going to say C. That's pretty blackberry pie for C. As I said, we could be really embarrassed by the end of this.
yeah.
So don't stress out. This is all fun and games. It's just we've got.
Yeah, see, A's tasting a lot more dreamy to me now. I was like, hang on.
I'm really hoping I put the glasses back in the right order.
Oh,
Well, Charlie did steal one of your glasses and swap it with one of his. So.
Oh,
yeah. Of course I did.
Yeah. I'm actually just drinking Ribena.
Thrown at me.
Actually, that would be a
That would be-
M Night
yes.
Shyamalan twist.
Yes.
None of them are wine; they're actually all Ribena.
Yeah. Actually, what was it? Yes,
pepper.
we're all
Yeah.
drinking non-alcoholic wine. Like, oh.
Yeah. Then you'd have to eat your own words.
I would like
Yeah.
to say that if you are a shopper of Purple Palette and are asking for non-alcoholic wine, we don't have any. I'm terribly sorry.
And have more and more people asking for it.
I know. The thing is, I have yet Eden Vale, I think it does, as a non-alcoholic wine.
Yeah.
Isn't that called grape juice?
It is.
Yeah.
It's just
Okay.
grape juice. But I
But
just
you got
can't.
it's
I did eat
more
my
expensive grape juice.
You're
Right,
in
yeah.
my 1 month off that time.
That's right. Yeah, you
month
had
off drinking.
Yeah.
Never again. And yeah, it's.
You were a different
Slight,
person actually, Dan.
Sweet. Not good.
Look, I
I didn't lose an ounce of weight in a month that I didn't drink. I thought, well, there's no point to that then.
It's no good swapping beer with cake.
Well, there was
Well,
alcohol in
Different
the
different
cake.
sources of sugar, man.
Yeah.
will say that I went through all every single one of our non-alcoholic beers, and you can keep it.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, I didn't like it.
Do not like any of them. Oh, people love them.
We can't get the Great Northern.
Yeah,
They're out,
no,
so we've got to
they're
try
out.
that one.
That's it. Actually, yeah, we better try that one. I could be wrong in that one, but it's Great Northern, so
Yeah.
yeah.
It probably just tastes exactly like the original.
How's it? It tastes like, water. Sweet.
You know what's also good about this is you could have a colouring in competition by the end of the night as well.
They're getting through this.
Crayons only though.
Oh no, just watercolours with the wine.
Yes.
No, it's even got a little line down the bottom that clearly says "My guess," and you're supposed to write down that
Yeah.
line.
Yeah.
But I've got scribbled all over the paper.
Yeah.
Yeah, I looked that bit was
Yeah.
by myself as well. So
I'm still saying I'm going C or 3 is definitely the bottom right hand side. That's the Lake Doctor. Because I'm getting now that orange peel sort of note going into it.
On C.
On C. Yeah, try C. Have a look at it.
Oh, I can't. See, the problem with this is like, I'm too suggestive. Like,
Yeah, you said
yeah,
orange,
you look
orange,
at
orange.
these words and you're trying real hard, and then eventually your brain will make you just
literally,
taste
welcome to Purple Palette NLP.
NLP, yes. Would you like me to sell you a house? I actually dealt with someone. I dealt with a company that all their staff are trained in NLP, and man, they nailed me in about 5 minutes.
What's the NLP?
And a neuro-linguistic program. So they nailed me in like 5 minutes that I was contrarian, and so therefore they were very direct about how they spoke to me. They weren't like pussyfooting around or making me feel better. They're like, "This is how it is. Do you want to do this?"
Here's the facts. This is
Yeah.
the
We've got you in the corner.
Yeah.
Bang, bang,
And
bang.
then they pushed into it. Mind you, by the end of it, I went, you know what? I actually don't want to do this at all.
Yeah, you got pushed too hard.
And they're like, oh, and it was a back pedal, and it's give me stuff.
I had an investment place do that. You've got to come down to the Gold Coast and have a look at the seminar and do this and do that. And I went,
Kiss my ass.
yeah, they'd already taken a deposit out of my bank. You don't turn up for the
How?
appointment. It's a direct debit thing.
How did they get your bank
Take his
details?
bank
No,
account.
in the first place, when they come to your house and give you the spool,
Oh,
they
yeah.
go, okay, we just need a deposit,
Right.
which was, actually, I think it was only $150 or something. That's just to ensure you come to the meeting. If you don't come to the meeting, you don't get your money back. And it turned out it was at the Gold Coast, so I rode to the Gold Coast, sat through their 20-minute spool and went, nope, I'm only here to get
Was it timeshare? Was it timeshare?
No, no.
Amway.
It was no. It was
I got tricked
I
on
looked into
the
the
Amway.
background of the place after the bloke had left my house. I looked in the background and he was a member of one of those big investment companies that went belly up and lost everybody's money. Yeah.
I got tricked into going to an Amway seminar. It actually feels like a cult. Like you go in there, and everyone's like, "Oh my god, it's so
Yeah, but
good!"
if
I
you
live on a yacht. It's like I saw you pull up in here in a 2000 model Commodore. Like, where
And
is
if
that
you bring
yacht
three
money?
friends,
Yeah.
Yes, well, speaking of cults, Alcoholics Anonymous. A friend of mine, she was a really, really lovely girl, but she wasn't the most attractive girl in the world. And she blamed all of her problems on alcohol. Actually, it really wasn't. It was to do with the fact that she just was aiming so far above what she wanted or what she could get that it was really quite disappointing. She said she was a lovely girl. But, and I think we were fairly young at the time. I think that she would have blossomed into a really pretty and, when you're younger, you look at the facile nature of human beings. But as you get older, you actually find beauty in things that are other than symmetrical faces and
God, I hope so.
curvy bodies and all the rest of that malarkey. So she went to an Alcoholics Anonymous meeting, and I went, "Oh, I'll go with you." And I got kicked out of the Alcoholics Anonymous. It wasn't intentional. It
Well, you
was.
shouldn't have
which
bought
step
in
did
a
you get
pint of
kicked
beer.
out at?
Sitting there with his stubby.
Yeah.
Anyone? I bought some for everyone else.
No, the point was that, and this is not to be detrimental to anybody who's an Alcoholics Anonymous. Well done to you for choosing that thing to get out
I'll
of.
be watching the wrong program.
You are watching definitely the wrong thing.
Don't
But
watch
it was really disheartening. But I sat there and listened, and at the end of this, and I was quite young, and so I was a bit of a dick too. Is at the end of the day, I listened to people bemoaning and whinging things that I didn't find to be a problem. Things like, oh, my husband works all day, so therefore in the morning I get up and have a vodka and orange, and then I have a Kahlua and coffee, and then I do the housework with a bottle of white, and then he comes home and we have a bottle of red with dinner, and then we have a whiskey, and we go to bed. And
She must sleep like a champion.
and I'm an alcoholic, and I just went, that's my ideal lifestyle.
You have
Thank
too much money, like.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well done to you. Congratulations. But she was, you know, and I sat there, that really sort of made me go. But then, what I got kicked out for wasn't that. What I got kicked out for was the guy who got up there, and he obviously had this joke planned in his head. It was a very well planned joke. He got up there and he said, I'm an alcoholic, I drink a bottle of vodka a day, therefore I know I'm never going to get scurvy because I drink so much orange juice. And everyone sort of went, and I went, you do know that Smirnoff actually does...
Sorry.
That's it. They come back on like, oh yeah, cheese, be nice, let's do it.
Ah, geez, bit of cheese.
So we actually cancelled the end of that joke because I realised I was going to get in a lot of trouble for it.
Oh. The FBI was not here.
No, Alcoholics Anonymous banned us.
We just picked out on cheese when we was looking.
Oh, good.
Yeah, it was a good
Oh, no, we're back on.
Oh, back on.
It's every time I cut a piece of cheese.
Yeah,
we
Actually,
come back
obviously it's a cheese thing.
Stop cutting the cheese.
on. This one?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Top box?
Yeah, that's it.
To the middle. Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Damn.
So what was the end of that joke
Yeah,
again there, Chatty? I was wondering.
So anyway,
Yes.
moving on.
So yeah, so have we made our decisions?
Yeah, I'm sticking
Yeah,
with my
so.
original thought process. I'm not one of those.
Every time you retasted it, just goes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
Hi, are you doing a live recording?
Yes, we
Yes,
are.
Amber.
Hi, I'm Amber.
She's Amber.
In the cigar boxes, the one that says receipt rolls.
I was just too. That was really confusing. I was like, oh, this girl's a cool people.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
with the
are.
I'm
cookies.
uninvited. No, the Amber's uninvited.
This is Amber, another one. So there says.
Amber.
Rude.
A1 and A2.
All right.
I'm gonna change
Well,
mine now. Yeah.
number one.
No,
This is
no.
going to make
Oh,
us
you just
all.
thought about a terrible joke.
So let's see how we can do this.
Hang on, number one. Juan.
Number one.
Oh, and he's ripped the label off with it, so we'll never know.
No, actually, I'll have to get.
Oh, this is the hardest.
Obviously, Brad. Oh no, here we go. Here it is. I was going to say Brad needs to input a knife into here for us. All right, ready?
Who's excited? I'm excited.
A little bit.
This one is the Lake Doctor.
Number one.
It's the Lake Doctor.
You got that.
I nailed it.
No,
Nailed it.
Yep.
Well done.
You got it.
Which means I'll be wrong.
No, I got it.
You got it. Hooray! Well done. So let's review it now. So
A is 4. Oh, I've already finished it.
yeah.
So,
Well, that's how much you liked it.
yeah, I can definitely get the black pepper.
I still don't get the orange.
It was
no.
I picked that originally because of
the
the
rose smell.
no, the cigar box.
The cigar box. Okay, because I've got no
Oh,
orange.
hang on, no. Was that
I got pepper and I got rose.
Yeah, I can kind of get the
Yeah.
rose oil now.
Yeah, looking at it, you get the violets. But that's I'd say the violets on that one. Okay.
Smells like. That's what I picked.
Teen
The cigar
Spirit.
box.
Yep.
Smells like Lake Africa.
Nothing to do with
Thank you, Toto.
Alright, 1, 2.
Wine. Actually, should we go to wine 3
Oh.
because we kind of all said these are definitely not the Barossa McLaren Bar ones. So
C. So hopefully this is Adelaide Hill Cup.
Kurt.
this should be hopefully.
I've got Langhorn for this one.
Oh, okay.
Adelaide Hills.
This is looking
Oh, no.
good.
Yeah, Adelaide Hills.
This is the Lake Doctor.
No,
No.
We've already
This
had
is
that.
the Hills Are Alive. It's number 3.
C3.
Yep.
Nailed it.
So we both understood.
I got that!
Yeah.
Oh, this is the best game ever. I love winning shit.
You came in late.
You came in late, yeah. So,
Oh, yeah.
as I said, we broke it down and we definitely organised, we figured out that. And
Did you pick that first, or did you change your decision in the middle?
I didn't change anything.
Alright, so you got the same.
Yeah.
Good. Just checking.
Okay, rightio.
This is great.
And now this is where it all goes pear-shaped.
Yes.
We're all South Australian drinkers.
2 8 and 4 ain't bad. Seriously, walking off the street. It was
Ready?
raining. I was a bit flustered. So far, 2 from 2.
Number 2.
Dos, half a board.
10 in the eyeball.
Oh, here we go. Number 2 is Baron.
At least I got one.
This is the best game ever.
Which means the last one.
It's going to be terrible. We get the last one wrong.
Tick.
Do you reckon you get it?
Ribena.
Do you reckon you get the golf one?
This is the best game ever.
Here's the chocolate bar.
Yeah.
Chocolate factory, sorry. Well done.
Like a 2
Told you I'm not going to change my mind because every time you do, you balls it up.
Yeah.
100%.
Bang. Do you want to throw that in the bin for us, please, then? All right.
That's a great game.
That's a good little game, isn't it?
Yeah. Well done, whoever
Even
thought of that.
It's a great game when you get it right.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I got 2 out of 4. That's not.
Well, it's not bad,
Oh, it's 50%.
but it's not good.
Oh. Chatty is being mean. That is an outstanding wine, that one.
Number
4.
Yeah.
I really like the Barossa, the B.
Mm.
I did 2, Pat.
Yeah, I'd have to say I'm really impressed with that.
2 and 4 were probably
But I keep coming back to D. Which one was D again?
That was a chocolate block.
The chocolate block, yeah.
Yes, the 4.
See, I've had the chocolate block before and I wasn't like the biggest fan of it.
Mm-hmm.
But having it again,
with those other ones.
Yeah.
I think it's opened up a bit and it's because I've left it for a fair while now. Like it's been nearly an hour now.
Yep. Oh, I'm actually going to go back and have a look at number 2 again because I honestly thought, I just. No, it is definitely that. That's the number 2. Yeah.
It was
The
Christmas.
Barossa
The
was the
Christmas
one
spice thing was the one that I copied.
Yeah,
Yeah.
The Barossa was the one that I picked straight off.
Yeah. I think that was pretty much nailed on that one. So that was good. But yeah, it's Adelaide Hills and Langhorne Creek.
Yeah.
They were a toss up.
Yeah, well
tell
that's
you-
the ones I got wrong.
Yeah, the other ones I got wrong too.
The Barossa doesn't really treat their raspberries very well, does it? And macerate them.
We macerate.
That's going to hurt. And
So-
leave scars.
I have to say, that's a fun little game.
Yeah, no, I
That was
love
good.
that.
Yeah, but we've given the answers, so if you come in and buy a box now.
No, they're different in every box.
They're different.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
So you won't know.
Yeah.
Oh, what we should do.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to be spruiking that.
That's
Can,
so,
we, can we get more of those boxes in?
I guess we can. Yeah.
Free
Yeah.
plug for the cost of the box. How much?
About
Mine's-
$90, I think they cost.
Right.
Which means
4
because
bottles of wine.
when you're looking at it, each of these bottles of wine, I think it's
They're all 25 except for
well, that's 25. That
the Nemesis is
is
35.
that's I think about 30. That one's 30. Well, 35 and 35 and.
Plus the
25.
fantastic box that it comes in.
Yeah, and all the
Seriously.
packaging and stuff.
Yeah.
That's really, really good.
They've done a good job.
Yeah, and it's a fun game.
Yeah. I think I'm really impressed about that. That's really, really cool.
Yeah, well done, those people.
Yeah, that's Brad Ray from Zontes. We've
Well
done
done, Brad.
Zontes a few times in the
Yeah.
thing. I'm uploading all of our Facebook Live stuff is getting uploaded to YouTube as well, and that'll be turning up over the next few months. I'll be scheduling
Can you
some.
make it seamless, or is there going to be big cutouts in it?
No, they'll be cut out.
Oh, there'll be swipes, fades, big star.
Whee! No, sadly
Yeah.
not. No, I'm gonna.
Add in some
It's going
clips as well.
half is going to cut out because he's going to play Star Wars.
Cody,
Yeah.
what have you been up to for the past 3 months? You put in swipes and fades.
Well,
Actually, I'd like to do. I do transitions. Thank you very much. I do my own video transitions.
I'd love to do
Do you bleep
I'd
out
love to do
that
songs.
joke?
No.
There's going to be, what's the title song for each episode? That's
Yeah.
interesting.
Oh, here we go. I have to work one out. Eh?
I
What are
don't,
you saying?
well, I'd love to do the Zontes one again, but with Cabernets, like different Cabernets around South Australia. I reckon
Well,
that'd be fun.
with Zontes does their blackberry tart cabinet, but it's the only one they've got. I've got a David Franz, which is from Barossa. That would be good.
Way sweeter.
What else we got from around that area? Oh, we got Coonawarra. We could get a Coonawarra quite merrily.
Is Coonawarra part of Barossa?
No, but Coonawarra
Yeah.
is actually a classic area of
Yeah.
Cabernet.
Yeah, that's my favourite. Like
And,
Coonawarra and McLaren Valley.
Mug River. Yeah. Actually, I think we already have done a Coonawarra, but we didn't do it blind. We need to actually sit down and work it
By
out.
blind, he doesn't mean that we've been drinking all day and then
You
showed
don't do
up
all the
and tried to
Shiraz
have a
first
crack
and
at it.
start on the
Yeah.
Cabernet.
No,
That would be a blind test.
Yeah,
that would be a hammer tasting.
stop.
So I think this could be one of the shortest
Yeah.
ones we've ever done. Actually,
Yeah,
I
but
think-
we started late.
we did start late. So
Yeah.
what's the time now? Look at that, my watch, which I obviously have in getting fixed at the moment.
15:55.
Oh no, it's only yeah. This is about a half
Started
hour
late and
tasting.
finished early.
Yeah. So we could proceed to drink the rest of this wine. Did you want to leave the camera on while we do that and make really bad jokes, or do you want to just turn it off?
No,
Apparently Dan has a crow joke.
It's a great crow joke. Come on, Dan. Tell us a crow joke.
You've worked
Tell
out
us
from
something.
now. I'll stuff the punch.
No stuff. This will be on there.
We could have a Pat fact hour.
Yeah.
That'd be right.
The Pat.
Do you
Pat
love it?
fact hour.
No.
You love it? Which one did you love?
Which one do you love?
Hang on.
The brothel was my favourite.
Now we don't know which one was 1, 2, 3, and 4. So when we go and pour it again,
My
We do,
favourite.
because-
oh, sorry, Dan and I do know. Yes.
Boom.
But yeah, I think the real winner was the game. Like, I reckon that was
Yeah.
brilliant.
Yeah, well, drinking wine was the winner. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
Oh,
Yeah.
we'll sign off.
And Alcoholics Anonymous, who did a really
Don't
good,
mention
really good.
the internet will cut out
Yeah.
again, man.
He doesn't want to get up and turn it off. He just wants it to turn
Yeah,
off.
so I'll just do it now. So at the end of the day, when
Moving
the
forward.
tiger came out.
Oh, hang on.
Yeah.
What were the things we had to say to make everyone drink if they're watching?
To be fair,
To be fair.
To be fair, Pat
to be
didn't
fair,
love it.
Pat didn't
Yeah.
love it. Did you love it?
Didn't love it.
I love the brothel.
There you go.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
good.
Which one didn't you love, Pat?
The two we got wrong.
Honestly,
Yeah.
I
wasn't the biggest fan of the McLaren Bale one. Which
Really?
one? Yeah, I don't know.
I like them. I love
To be
them.
fair, I thought
Oh,
you
actually,
said
no,
you
sorry, not
loved
the
it.
McLaren Bale, the
McLaren
Langholm.
Bale.
Langhorne Creek.
Yeah.
I agree. Okay, so
Because I love Langhorne Creek as for their like the grenaches and stuff like that, but yeah, I don't know, I just wasn't sold on.
I didn't mind the one from the hills.
yeah,
I actually like them all.
Yeah, to be fair.
When I say I don't like them, I would easily drink them
Yeah.
and I'd easily pay for them.
no, look, my big thing is that I love McLaren Vale and Barossa Shiraz. Adelaide Hills, it would have to be something pretty special for me to go wow. And Langhorne Creek, I'm not sure, man. I've tried some Coonawarra Shiraz, which I thought was absolutely delightful, but that was mainly due to the fact that it had such huge overwhelming oak in it that I'm an oak fan.
I think if you mixed these up and did it all over again, I would get it 100% wrong.
Yeah.
Because now I'm tasting this one going, wow, it's got some cigar box in the
Yeah.
back of it.
To be
And it's the McLaren Bar one.
Yeah.
Right.
But
more ass than class does win sometimes.
I think your brain's just telling you the smoke time.
Smoke time.
Probably could
Speaking of which, smoke time and cheese time. Thank you all for coming along to join us for drinking. I'll actually pick my
might do
favourite
some-
wine.
I might do some
And
blending.
yeah, we'll do some blending.
Ooh.
We'll do regional blending.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. So, we could do that.
That's so we can get back to one glass, get rid of the other glasses, and bring
Yeah.
that cheese.
Yeah, forward. Yeah.
So here's a question. Now, Chatty.
Yeah, no, I've just done 2 and 4.
Yeah, but you need to actually do it in a scientific way.
I just did. It was very scientific.
No,
I
you
put
need
2
50-50,
in and
you
then
said.
4. Yes.
So if you are blending, okay, let's just say, and this is not unusual. So we're now just going to, the game's finished. We're going to step on to, it's not unusual to get wines that look similar to this out of one region, particularly, and more the point, they're going to show different characters. So when you're making a wine from a whole bunch of different areas, that you are making, say, a Barossan wine from Marananga, Grana, Ebenezer, Canunga Hill, all those areas, and putting them in together to make a Barossan Shiraz, you are going to encounter things like, you'll have one that's got like way too much oak, or it'll have a lot of spice and a lot of tannin to it, but it won't have anywhere near enough fruit, and therefore you blend something with more fruit to it. And essentially, the simplest way to do blending is find out what you've got a truckload of, and that'll be your base. And if that base has got excellent fruit to it, but is lacking in acidity and tannin, then you are looking for your other wines that have acidity and tannin.
Yeah.
So therefore, to blend to give a nice balanced wine. We talked about balance
Yeah.
before. So this is actually the intriguing part about winemaking. You can do what small wine producers do, which they pick their entire block, they put them into barrels, and then they do barrel tastings, and they'll mark A++ or A, B, C, all the way down to D. And then they'll go, you know what, take the A+ barrel, and we'll make 400 bottles of our premium or super premium wine. That'll be $100 a bottle. And then we take the next lot, which is the A's and the B+, down to the B. We'll put those together to make our estate range wine. And then finally, whatever's left over, we put into our entry-level wine. And that's kind of how it can sometimes work, as long as the entry-level wine is actually put together well. for really big companies, it's a lot harder because what you'll do is, we need to make 50,000 bottles of our top end wine. Cool. We've got it. That takes a lot of skill and blending to make that top end wine, to make it a wow wine. Then you get the next part where you go, we'll put all of our different regions together, and especially in a really, really big one, it actually is really, really difficult because I'm going to make a Canunga wine or a Barossan wine. You need to get all the wines from the Barossa to make that wine, and of course it gets quite difficult. What can I help with it?
Is it leaky? That bubble looks a lot bigger than it should be, and the bottom of the box is also wet.
Has it been outside in the rain?
Is it leaking? No, it was outside. It was raining today, so
Oh, okay.
yeah, it should be fine.
Sure. Okay.
Yep.
So when they have, I suppose because bigger companies have the buying power, they're not lacking for juice.
No, they're not lacking for juice, but they've got to put the juice together well. And this is where their assistant winemakers actually really cut their teeth. So you'll get a couple of really good assistant winemakers, probably about a unit of 3 or 4 of them, dealing with volumes of 100,000 litres. And what they'll do is they'll taste that and go, yep, that's pretty good overall. And remember, the 100,000 litres is a blend to begin with. They go, yeah, that's really good, but it needs more acidity. They might even add acidity to it by literally throwing tartaric acid in, or they might throw grape X in to give bigger tannin. This is the low end stuff. The mid-range stuff and the top end stuff is a lot harder because then you have to go, we can't just throw tartaric acid and grape X in, we've got to actually create the wine. But it can't be from anywhere, like 85% of it comes from Barossa, at least, or 85% comes from one region. And you go, you know what, we've got some McLaren Vale juice or West Australia juice or Langhorne Creek juice that we go, shit, that's actually worth putting in. We can put that in and balance the whole thing up. And they'll do that on bench trials. It's called bench testing. And New Zealand. Yeah, exactly. And how to work out.
Well, I haven't tried it yet, but I think the Adelaide Hills could use a bit more of the juvie fruit from the McLaren Vale.
Yep. That's it. And literally that's what they'll do, and to flesh out a wine. Also to increase the volumetric levels that they can bottle and make lots of the quality of quantity, as it's called.
Yeah.
But small producers, as I said, they literally go, the best barrel becomes their $100 wine. Their next bit will become their estate range wine, and the rest of it essentially goes into their entry level. Anything left over gets sold to the big companies.
Right.
Yeah.
Because if they need it for one of those add-on things.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so small producers can sometimes struggle. Now, one of the ones is that so Brad, for example, he owns a few blocks of actually quite a bit of holding, but not an enormous amount. He buys juice as well. I think he buys from growers that he knows really well. I'm not trying to give away his business model, but I'm just saying, if I can remember correctly, he's got a beautiful.
It's the chocolate factory and the Barossa
put together.
Yeah.
That's what I did.
Right.
You didn't do it scientifically.
That's what.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a great little wine.
That's what I did.
Okay, but what would you call that wine though? How much did you put in?
Delicious.
Pat's wine.
Pat's fact.
You know, but Pat's wine, how much percentage did you put in?
I tried to go for around 70% the Barossa,
Yep.
and probably about 30%.
So what would you call it? Would you call it Barossa or McLaren Vale?
You have to call it one.
Well, I wouldn't call it either.
Neither.
Barossa.
What would you call it then? Product of
South Australia.
South
Product
Australia.
of drinking.
Product of South Australia. However, if you threw a bit of Victorian Shiraz or a bit of New South Wales Shiraz, it'd be a product of South East Australia. Anything
What if you
just
added
south of
like
Brisbane all the way across WA is South East Australia.
Really?
Yep.
Oh.
So at this point, that wine essentially becomes a homogenous bulk wine that you'd sell. I mean, no one is going to pay top end dollars for a wine,
Product of Australia.
a product of Southeast Australia.
No.
They're certainly not going to pay top end dollars for a product of Australia.
But what if it was really, 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 really good?
But
Irrespective,
the label on
it's
it.
the label
is
on
not
it.
gonna-
It's the selling part. No one buys a wine.
It's not fancy pants enough.
What sort of competition could you put it in? couldn't enter it into the Barossa and wine.
No,
show.
actually, you couldn't enter it into the local competitions like Barossa and McLaren, but you can enter it into the big ones like the Canberra Wine Show, Melbourne Wine Show, Cairns Wine
So
Show.
it still win really high.
Course
awards.
Canberra has a big wine show, don't they? All the
Yeah.
politicians spending all their money on wine.
That's the one. Actually, as a matter of fact,
Cairns.
I know a Cairns Wine Show as well.
Canberra. Is it Canberra?
Yeah, Canberra. I actually do know a winemaker who deals with a lot of polys and ex-polys, and they actually make wine for export overseas. That's quite a good deal out of it too. But sorry, back to bench testing. So,
That's your textiles hard at work, by the way, ladies and gentlemen.
yeah, nothing wrong with Taxol getting sold overseas. So when it comes to bench testing though, it's not unusual to have, say, these 4 wines come off different barrels. And let's just make a fantasy that all this comes out of one region. We decide to make a wine out of it. So literally, let's just say there's an equal amount. So we don't have to choose any one as a base. Which one would you choose as a base? It's off your tasting notes here. So what would you choose for a base? Would you choose one that's got the most fruit? Would you choose one that's got
I go to the Barossa just because, well, it's the one I like the best, and it's like
Yep.
hearty, it's like got the big fruits, and
Yep.
it feels like you can like subtract and add from that easier.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So, okay, so let's put that much in. So,
That's roughly a bit.
a bit. Yeah.
That's the
Righto.
exact measurement
Yeah.
was, Pat.
So, what would you add to that, Pat?
Well, I added the
more.
chocolate factory to that.
Why? Give me a reason why.
That's all
The chocolate factory, I felt it was a bit lighter. It didn't have the
So you wanted a little bit richer sort of style?
yeah,
Yeah,
Okay.
he's going super sweet there, isn't he?
yeah,
So we're going to put that in there, and I'll just put a dash. Okay.
yeah. So
Righto.
dashing a bit,
A dash and a bit so far. So
and then maybe a bit of the Adelaide Hills, just a light bit.
Well, I
down
would have
there.
chucked one of the other ones in just to measure the sweetness out with some pepper or some spice.
So yeah, let's just do Adelaide Hills then. Now,
Just
because the
Haven't you
fruit,
already got this in your glasses? You could do better.
Yeah.
yeah,
We
but
can't
I
remember
get to have
which is
more wine this way.
Yeah, that's what's going on.
See? So I'm just putting it. So at the moment, literally, I've got 50, 30, 20.
dash and a bit and
Dash
splash.
a bit of splash.
Yeah,
Okay.
well done. Exactly.
Actually, it's 10%. So 10, 20, and 70. Essentially. That's good. That's a nice little. Sort of not too badly balanced. But remember, you've got equal amount. You've got say 25,000 litres of each. You really need to use. Well, you can't just sell your lake doctor.
Yeah.
What are you going to do? Well, you have to put a bit of that in, don't you?
Mm.
Yeah, go.
But then do you make 2 completely opposing tastings or blends where one is more peppery and one is more
Oh, so you can
sweet?
have.
So you do one, because obviously if you take this, if this is 50% base for half of the volume,
Yep.
then you keep going ascending order that way,
Yep.
you're going to have 50% left
Yeah.
of this and bugger all left of this. So
Oh, by the way, at the end of the day, you are going to sell some of this to the big boys.
yeah.
So.
But
Do they still like?
it's the Baron, isn't it? That's the more expensive one.
Yeah.
So you're using less of the
Oh,
Baron.
sure. That's actually not bad.
Yeah, that's-
So Pat, it's a lot better balance to it. There's a lot better balance to that one.
Oh, it's got some nice dark fruits now.
It's really lovely. So looking.
Sorry, was that the sound healing moment? Wasn't it?
But I was just thinking maybe we had to all get up and move chairs.
And your time starts now.
So you're not getting overly bright, overly rich fruits. You're getting a really balanced.
You had more tannin though.
You got more tannin in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you're not getting
Well, okay.
overpowered by anything. You're,
You're not
just
getting,
getting
yeah,
a
you're
little
getting
bit of everything.
You're getting everything, and it's really complex. It's really, you know, you can actually mesh it up together. And
The weird
so,
thing is, because I like being slapped in the face by things, so
oh, okay.
yeah. So I love. Oh, there we go.
That wasn't your thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So many things we can hit him with.
Yeah. The
Turkey.
like that's why I love Coonawarra because like the tannin is wild.
Oh no, we can't call it Coonawarra anymore.
No,
Oh,
cheers
cheese
Awara.
Awara,
Cheers
yeah.
Awara. Cheers Awara.
It's so sad.
Alright, let's turn this off before we get
I think we better turn it off right now. Okay.
See how I've got mine down to one glass?
Oh, you
now?
got it down to one glass.
Cheers.
Okay.
Are you allowed to say cheers?
And I
Yeah.
can reach for cheese.
Yes, that's true. You can read the cheese. Cheers. Yeah.
Read the cheers.
Read the cheers. Yes.
Eat the cheese.
Eat the cheese.
Cheers.
Anyway, cheers, boys.
everybody.
All right. Have fun
was
at
a
home.
great game.
Yeah, play the game.
Highly recommend.
Yeah, play the game and then mix the wine.
Yeah,
I think that's the other
that's
thing.
the best
Yeah.
night ever.
Cool. All right. Well, you have a good night. I'll see you all later. Cheers. Cheers.
I'll try and work the technology.
Bottom right.
Down the bottom right there.
Ah, finish, yes.
He's the